Welcome back to my channel Coins World. Today, we're diving deep into the captivating story of the 1941 Liberty Wheat Penny, a small coin that carries an enormous piece of American history. If you think a simple 1-cent coin couldn't possibly hold value beyond its face, think again. This penny witnessed a world at war, a nation in recovery, and a minting legacy that changed U.S. coinage forever. By the end of this video, you'll see why finding one of these could be like discovering a hidden treasure in your change jar. The 1941 Liberty Wheat Penny belongs to one of the most iconic coin series in American history, the Lincoln Wheat Cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. This coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. By 1941, the design was already a beloved American classic, recognized for its simple yet powerful imagery. Lincoln's dignified profile on the front and two stalks of wheat symbolizing prosperity and unity on the back. But what makes 1941 so special? It was a pivotal year, the final calm before the storm of World War II. The United States had not yet entered the war, but tensions were high. Industries were shifting toward defense production, and even the mint was preparing for changes that would come with wartime metal shortages. The 1941 penny was struck primarily from bronze, a mix of copper, tin, and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. Over 1.1 billion were minted across 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Despite the massive mintage, these coins have their own rare variations and errors that make collectors go wild. Look closely at a 1941 penny and you'll see subtle differences that could make yours worth hundreds or even thousands. The D mint mark below the date means it was struck in Denver, while an S means it came from San Francisco. No mint mark at all. That's a Philadelphia issue. But among them, the rarest are those struck with double dies, slight misalignments during minting that cause doubling on the numbers or letters. The famous 1941 double die obverse, with its distinctive doubling on "In God We Trust," "Oh Liberty," is a true prize among collectors. Beyond minting errors, condition plays a massive role in value. A 1941 wheat penny in average circulated condition may fetch just a few cents, but one in pristine, uncirculated state, with a sharp shine and clear details, can reach hundreds of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to find one with a vivid red or red-brown luster, indicating it's been well preserved, you could be holding a small fortune. What's truly fascinating about the 1941 penny is how it connects everyday Americans to a time of resilience and transformation. This was the coin that passed through the hands of factory workers, farmers, and soldiers' families. The 1930 Liberty Wheat Penny is one of those rare treasures that hides in plain sight, waiting to surprise anyone lucky enough to hold it. Stick around till the end of the video to know its price and how you can sell it, because what may look like a simple old penny could actually be worth more than you imagine. The 1930 Liberty Wheat Penny carries a powerful legacy from the Great Depression era, a time when every cent mattered and the U.S. mint's craftsmanship was at its finest. This coin was struck in both Philadelphia and San Francisco, each bearing its own historical identity. The front of the coin proudly features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB have become iconic among collectors. On the back, 2 elegant wheat stalks flank the words 1 cent, symbolizing prosperity and strength in an era of hardship. This penny was minted in the shadow of one of America's most difficult economic times, making it a piece of history that tells a story far deeper than its face value. Every worn surface and faded detail holds the memory of a nation struggling yet determined to survive. The 1930 Wheat Penny doesn't just represent currency, it represents resilience, endurance, and the spirit of the American people. Collectors today are drawn to this coin for its design and history, but also for its rarity in high-grade condition. Most pennies from this time were heavily circulated, as people held on to every cent they could. Finding a 1930 wheat penny in pristine mint state condition is like discovering a window into the past, and touched by time. Those coins can fetch thousands of dollars in auctions depending on their grade, mint mark, and overall preservation. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 157 million of these coins, while the San Francisco Mint produced around 24 million, marked with an S. While these numbers might seem large, the true challenge lies in finding a coin that hasn't been worn down by nearly a century of circulation. Even small variations, such as slight die cracks, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, can increase a coin's desirability and value among collectors. Over the decades, the wheat penny has remained one of the most beloved designs in U.S. history. The two wheat ears on the reverse not only represented agricultural strength but also carried a quiet message of hope during economic despair. The 1930 issue came just before massive changes in the mint's operations, and before America entered an era of recovery and modernization. Beyond its historical weight, the 1930 Liberty wheat penny also represents a key link in the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909. By the time this coin was struck, the Lincoln design had already become a symbol of integrity and perseverance. Every collector knows that certain years, including 1930, mark a turning point in the series due to shifting minting standards and evolving economic conditions. Have you ever checked the change in your pocket and thought it might hold a hidden treasure? If you have a Liberty Jefferson 5-cent coin from 1953, it might actually turn the tables for you. Many people overlook this small coin, but its history, rarity, and condition can make it far more valuable than its face value. Stick around until the end of this video because we'll talk about its potential price and how you can sell it the right way. The Jefferson nickel has been a key part of American coinage since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlug, the obverse of the coin features a bold portrait of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States, while the reverse depicts his famous home, Monticello. The 1953 issue carries forward this iconic design during a time when the United States was emerging from the post-war era into a period of growth and change. Coins minted in this period hold special historical significance because they reflect both artistic tradition and the economic landscape of mid-century America. The 1953 Jefferson nickel was struck at 3 mints. Coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia, those with a D were struck in Denver, and those with an S were struck in San Francisco. Each mint produced millions of coins, but their survival in pristine condition is a different story. Circulation, wear, storage issues, and handling over the decades have made high-grade examples much harder to find. Today, condition is everything when it comes to these coins. A 1953 nickel that has circulated for years may only be worth its face value, but coins that have been well preserved with full details, sharp strikes, and original luster can command impressive prices. Collectors are especially drawn to nickels that show the full steps of Monticello on the reverse, a grading detail known as full steps. Coins that receive this designation, particularly in higher mint state grades, are rare and valuable. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest number of these nickels, and while they are common in lower grades, finding a true gem uncirculated coin with full steps can be challenging. Denver Mint coins are often found with weaker strikes, which makes well-struck examples highly collectible. The San Francisco issues are also noteworthy because 1953 marked one of the later years before the San Francisco Mint ceased producing circulating coins for a time, adding to their collector interest. What really makes certain 1953 Jefferson nickels stand out are the varieties and mint errors that occurred during production. Some coins show double die obverses or reverses, repunched mint marks, or striking anomalies that make them unique. These varieties can turn an ordinary nickel into a piece worth hundreds or even thousands depending on rarity and demand. The historical backdrop of this coin adds another layer of interest. In 1953, Dwight D. Eisenhower was president. The Korean War had just ended and the United States. Imagine pulling out a simple old penny from a forgotten jar and discovering it could actually turn the tables for you. The 1929 Liberty wheat penny is one of those coins that hides real historical power and potential value. Stick around till the end of the video to learn how much it can be worth and how you can sell it, because this could be the find that changes everything for you. The 1929 Liberty wheat penny was minted during a time of transition in the United States, just months before the stock market crash that led to the Great Depression. Every coin from this year represents a nation standing on the edge of massive economic change. People were still optimistic, industries were booming, and pennies like these circulated through shops, wages, and savings boxes in households across the country. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin carries Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing strength and prosperity. By 1929, the wheat penny series had already been in production for 2 decades and had become a trusted and familiar piece of American currency. its design remained unchanged, giving it a timeless appeal that continues to attract collectors today. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints produced the 1929 wheat pennies. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins have a D, and San Francisco pieces show N. S. Each of these has unique characteristics that affect rarity and value. Philadelphia produced the largest number, making these the most common in circulated grades. However, uncirculated Philadelphia coins with sharp details and strong luster are much scarcer than many imagine. Collectors often seek these high-grade examples because they display the original mint brilliance that has survived nearly a century. Denver mint coins from 1929 are slightly more difficult to find in high grades. Their lower mintage numbers and the rougher handling of coins during that era mean well-preserved Denver examples can command impressive premiums when certified by top grading services. San Francisco mint coins are particularly popular with collectors. Their mintages were lower compared to Philadelphia, and surviving pieces in top condition are significantly scarcer. The 1929 wheat penny is a standout for those aiming to build a complete wheat cent collection, especially in mint state grades where it becomes a true prize. What makes this year fascinating is not only the mint marks but also the historical setting. The late 1920s was a period of immense economic activity. Banks, factories, and businesses were thriving, and coins like this were used in every corner of daily life. When the crash came later that year, these pennies continued to circulate through a struggling economy, often becoming part of stories of survival and resilience. Today, we're talking about the Liberty Quarter dollar from 1979, a coin that might turn the tables for you if it's hiding somewhere in your collection. Stick around till the end of the video because I'll reveal its potential value and how you can sell it for the highest price. The 1979 Liberty Quarter dollar is one of those coins that often slips through people's hands without them realizing its true worth. It was minted during a time when America was transforming from the tail end of the 1970s economic challenges to the dawn of a new technological era. Every detail on this coin carries a piece of that history, from its bold image of George Washington on the obverse to the majestic eagle spreading its wings on the reverse. This quarter wasn't just a means of buying candy or gasoline, it was a part of everyday life for millions of Americans. The U.S. Mint produced it in massive quantities across three main facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the twist: not all 1979 quarters are equal. Some carry rare minting variations, or error strikes that make them far more valuable than ordinary ones. On the obverse, you'll see the strong profile of George Washington, first introduced in 1932 to celebrate his 200th birthday. His image represents strength, leadership, and the foundation of American freedom. By 1979, this portrait had become a timeless national symbol. The words "Liberty" and "I in God We Trust" surround him, capturing the spirit of a nation rooted in faith and liberty. The reverse features a powerful eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, designed by John Flanagan. This isn't just decoration, it's a message of peace and readiness. The arrows signify defense, while the olive branches represent America's hope for harmony. Together, they mirror the dual spirit of the late 1970s, resilience and optimism for the future. Now, what makes the 1979 Liberty Quarter fascinating for collectors is the presence of mint marks and errors. Quarters minted in Philadelphia have no mark. Denver coins carry a D and San Francisco coins have an S. But certain coins, especially proof versions from San Francisco, show slight variations in design and strike, some with deeper mirrors, sharper details, or double die errors. These details can turn a regular 20-5-cent coin into a collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. This quarter also came at a transitional moment in U.S. coinage. While the U.S. Mint was focusing on the release of the Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, the quarter quietly continued its legacy as a reliable coin of commerce. Because of this overlap, some collectors believe that particular batches of 1979 quarters were struck using slightly different die settings, making them more valuable today due to their scarcity. Imagine holding this coin and thinking of its journey from the hands of a 1970s shopkeeper to a collector's case decades later. It may have been used in vending machines, laundromats. Today, I'm going to talk about a coin that could completely change the way you look at your small change: the Liberty 5-cent 1954 coin. If you have this coin in your collection, it might just turn the tables for you. Stick around till the end of the video because I'll reveal its potential price and how you can sell it to get the best value possible. The Liberty 5-cent 1954 coin, often referred to as the Jefferson nickel, is more than just a piece of currency. It's a living piece of American history that carries the legacy of resilience, design mastery, and post-war optimism. The 1954 nickel belongs to the series first introduced in 1938 to honor Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers, and the author of the Declaration of Independence. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin captures Jefferson's profile on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1954, the United States was in the midst of remarkable change. The war was over, the economy was booming, and the American dream was in full motion. Coins minted during this period reflected not only the country's prosperity, but also its commitment to stability and tradition. The Jefferson nickel was an enduring symbol of that period, sturdy, reliable, and deeply American in every way. What makes the 1954 Liberty 5-cent coin special is the variations that emerged from different U.S. mints that year. Coins were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark tells a unique story. The 195 from San Francisco, for example, was among the last nickels produced before the mint temporarily halted production the following year. Collectors value these distinctions because they mark turning points in minting history. Over time, these coins have become sought-after treasures for collectors, especially those with clean, crisp details and mirror-like surfaces. Some rare examples of the 1954 nickel feature striking errors, doubled dies, off-center strikes, or weak strikes, which can dramatically increase their value. A simple flaw made decades ago by the U.S. Mint could now make your coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition. The composition of the coin also adds to its legacy. Made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, it was designed to withstand circulation without losing its luster easily, despite being made for everyday use. The artistic detail on Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's intricate design turned an ordinary coin into a timeless collectible. The deeper you explore the 1954 Liberty 5-cent coin, the more fascinating its history becomes. During that decade, nickels weren't just currency, they were symbols of confidence in America's progress. People used them in diners, drive-ins, and jukeboxes across the nation. Each coin passed through countless hands, each carrying stories of daily life in the golden age of America. Today, collectors and enthusiasts around the world are rediscovering these small yet powerful artifacts, the place where rare finds can change your life forever. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand that could be worth thousands of dollars today. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that a simple 1937 wheat penny, often ignored in old jars or tucked away in drawers, might actually turn the tables for you? Stick around until the end of the video, because I'll tell you not only how much this coin is worth, but also how you can sell it for the best possible price. The 1937 wheat penny is part of America's rich numismatic history, struck during the final years of the Great Depression. It belongs to the iconic Lincoln Wheat series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side proudly features the portrait of Lincoln, a symbol of resilience and leadership during America's most challenging times. On the reverse, two wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, a design meant to represent abundance and prosperity. What makes the 1937 wheat penny particularly special is the era in which it was minted. The country was slowly recovering from the Great Depression. Industries were getting back on their feet, and every cent truly mattered. Millions of these coins circulated across the country, buying food, paying fares, and helping families survive through hardship. This coin is more than metal, it's a piece of American spirit preserved in copper. Now let's dive deeper into its varieties. The 1937 penny was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia version carries no mint mark, while the Denver mint features a small D under the date and the San Francisco mint a small s among these. The 1937s and 1937d pennies can fetch higher prices, depending on condition and rarity. Some collectors particularly seek out those in brilliant uncirculated or red mint state condition, which are incredibly hard to find today. Errors also make some of these pennies worth a fortune. For example, off-center strikes, double die obverses, or repunched mint marks can send their value skyrocketing. These era coins are extremely desirable among collectors and can bring thousands of dollars at auctions. It's always worth examining your penny under good light or magnification. What looks like a normal coin might actually be hiding a small fortune. According to recent online listings and auctions, the value of a 1937 wheat penny can vary widely. On eBay, circulated examples often sell between $1 and $5 depending on condition. However, high-grade coins, certified by grading authorities like PCGs or NGC, have sold for astonishing amounts. Some mint state 1937D and 1937S pennies have fetched prices ranging from $200 to over $1,000. Exceptional red-tone specimens with flawless surfaces can even cross the $2,000 mark in major auctions, heritage auctions, and great. What if I told you that a simple old penny lying unnoticed in your drawer could actually change your life? Yes, the 1956 Liberty wheat penny might be the coin that turns the tables for you. It's not just an ordinary cent. It's a coin that carries a legacy, a story, and a surprising value that could shock you. Stick around until the end of the video because I'll reveal how much this coin can be worth and how you can sell it smartly. The 1956 Liberty wheat penny represents one of the final years of the legendary wheat design that began in 1909. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, was meant to honor Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. For nearly 50 years, the wheat penny stood as a tribute to hard work, integrity, and the American spirit of resilience. By 1956, it was nearing the end of its iconic run before the Lincoln Memorial design replaced it in 1959, making the 1956 edition one of the last of its kind and a favorite among collectors. The obverse side of the coin bears the dignified portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust." At the top, Liberty on the left and the year 1956 on the right. Some of these coins were struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, while others came from the Denver Mint, marked by a small D below the date. On the reverse side, two wheat stalks gracefully curve around the words 1 cent United States of America and the motto E Pluribus Unum. This coin was made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm reddish tone collectors love. The high copper content also means the coin naturally darkens and develops unique patinas over time, making every piece visually distinct. But it's not just beauty that draws attention, it's the rare minting errors that make some 1956 wheat pennies worth far more than face value. During minting, some coins were struck with double dies, creating doubled images on the date, letters, or even Lincoln's features. Others were slightly off-center or had die cracks, giving them unique patterns and higher collectible value. These small imperfections, invisible to most people at first glance, can make all the difference in a coin's worth. Over a billion wheat pennies were minted in 1956, but only a few survived in pristine condition. Uncirculated examples, with a bright red luster or rare minting variations, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions today. The highest graded 1956 wheat pennies in mint state red finish are known to attract serious collectors from around the world. Beyond the money, this coin holds a historical charm. It captures a period of optimism in post-war America, a time when coins weren't just currency, they were symbols of national pride and craftsmanship. Each 1956 penny tells a story of change, of transition, and of a nation moving forward while still honoring its past.